Welcome back. We're talking about listening and speaking, and our focus in this segment is the formal, prepared speech. If the teacher doesn't give you a topic, how do you choose a topic? Your first step is planning, researching, organizing your ideas and information. So say to yourself, if you're going to be spending that amount of time on a topic, it must be something that you're interested in. Preferably something that you already know something about, but that you want to become more expert in. You have to show your planning, researching, organizing skills, how good you are at doing that. You have to use resources and reference materials to find and select information. You have to make notes and summaries from a range of relevant sources. It's amazing how often my students go to one source, one magazine, one website, one book, a range of sources. You must include a range of facts and examples, not just one. Obviously, you've got to use an effective introduction and conclusion. Some ideas there: literary quotations, authorities, anecdotes, little stories. You have to develop your ideas and your argument, arranging your facts and your examples logically. And you need to be careful of the length. In some grades, it's 1 to 2 minutes. It could be 2 to 3 minutes. Just check, because your teacher over grade 10, 11, and 12 will make that speech slightly longer. So check how long this prepared speech has to be. By yourself, you have to prepare your speech. Don't cheat. Don't use other people's ideas. Do it by yourself. You plan, you write it out in full, you prepare your cue cards, you practice it, you time it. So what must you do? You've got all your ideas, you've done your research. You then plan it, and this is part of the structuring. What am I going to begin with? Where is my speech going to go next? And you write it out in full. Once you've written it out in full, I actually think at this stage the timing should come here. Time it. Is it too long? Is it too short? And remember, that timing should be in the back of your mind as you are doing your research. Because if it's 1 minute, you're going to do a lot less than a speech that your teacher has told you has to be 5 minutes. Time it. Once you've timed it and it's about the right length, you prepare your cue cards. And your cue cards are key words only. Make sure they are only key words. Do not write your speech out in full. Because what happens is you're tempted then to read, and you really will look down and you will be reading your speech instead of delivering your speech. Now, one of my students said to me, but then my speech won't be the same as what I've written out for you. Yes, I know that, but I don't look at your speech while you're speaking. You are speaking to me. I am listening to you. The speech is there to show me that you've done the work, you've done the research, you've written it out in full, and I put it there in a box. But I listen to you. And of course, your speech is going to be slightly different every time you deliver it. Time it, practice it. What kind of problems, what goes wrong when you are doing this process of preparing for your formal speech? Let's start with the content. You might start too big. One of my learners said to me, I am going to speak about Great Britain. And I said, well, hang on. That's too big. What about Great Britain? So she said, well, I'm really interested in London. I said, okay, that's better. But London has been a city that's been around for over 2,000 years. What aspect of London? And she said, you know what I'm really interested in? The Cockney accents. Ah, yes. Now she's got it down. Now she can research that. The Cockney accents. Now remember, she doesn't want something that ordinary people know. She wants something different, something exciting. So she's going to go looking for that. So don't start in the obvious places that give you all the obvious information. The other thing that you can do is you look up the obvious people. Nelson Mandela, Napoleon, Adolf Hitler, Stalin. Don't do the obvious people. If you want a dictator, then try to find somebody slightly different. If you want to speak about Mandela, find something different about Mandela. So watch the content. Remember, it cannot be a creative essay either. One of my students said, I want to do my 5 most embarrassing moments. Now you've got to do research. So you better do research about embarrassment or about something. You can't just write a creative essay. What else can go wrong? A poor introduction and a poor conclusion. You don't introduce yourself with flair and with something that grabs the audience. And your conclusion is, oh, well, actually, I'm finished. That's hopeless. It's got to end in a way that we know. And things can go wrong with the delivery. So practice it in front of a mirror, looking at yourself, using a lively voice, engaging your audience. We're going to continue to talk about listening and speaking in our next segment.